We're live. So thank you guys for being on our first and official getting started strong call. That's so hard to say. And the reason that I named them getting started strong versus getting started right is because for me personally, I don't think there's like a right or wrong way to start your business. I think that you have to do things that align with what your beliefs are. So I wanted to get you guys a strong start, and with the activities that I know are going to get you guys those quick wins and those quick wins under your belt really fast. So I'm super excited. I am going to go ahead and just share my screen here. Let's go. Interval. Cool. So welcome to our very first Getting Started Strong call. Super excited to be running this. Maybe in the future, one of our other leaders, Diamond Leaders, will be running these as well with me. As you guys start signing coaches on and start building up your leaders, it's important that we have things that are very duplicatable. So I'm really excited to bring this to you guys. And honestly, the content here is nothing brand spanking new, but I think that when you couple them with like what you can potentially do with your business, it makes total sense. And it's been really cool to see you guys tracking. A lot of our newer coaches are saying things like some of the behaviors are coming second nature to them. So that's exactly what this is going to be about. It's going to be a take on vital behaviors. I'll give you guys some tangible social media tips that have worked for me along the way. But really it's up to you to take it and run with it and make it your own. So I'm really excited that you guys are here. I'm excited to feel that momentum within the team and our new leaders who are hungry for it and hungry to grow and learn and expand. And I think it's just going to be a really, really great year. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So getting started strong, if you can't, that's supposed to say beat fear, just do it scared. And that couldn't be more true with this because let's face it, like we come into this and we don't have a manager telling us what to do. We don't have an itinerary, like everything is on the fly, on the go, and we have to learn as we go. But I am so excited to pour into you guys because I'm going to tell you now, when I first started 6 years ago yesterday, I did not have the direction that I have now. And I'm just so excited to see you guys just take off a lot faster than I did, and get out of your own way and get out of your own fears, because it's scary to put yourself out there, and it's scary to put yourself out there in a very vulnerable way. And I've learned that very, very closely with this postpartum journey. It's been real raw and real vulnerable. But on the other side of that, you get connection and you get people who get you, and you get people who experienced a lot of the same things that you've been through. So it brings some really great connectivity. And welcome to the team. My hope as your kind of grandma coach, if you didn't specifically sign up with me, is that I arm you with the resources that you need to be successful. Because if there's anything that I've seen in the 6 years that I've been doing this, is that anyone can be successful at this. There's nobody who's more special than another. It's just about repetitive action, kind of rolling with the punches and knowing that different things are going to change, like social media trends and things like that, and really having a desire to help people, because at the very core, we are change agents and we help people see things within themselves that they normally wouldn't see if they were just to go through their day-to-day. So it's up to us to really bring that change within them and spark that fire within them, because we love the products and we love what it's done for us. So this call is pretty much going to be a call all about the vital process. I literally based all of my slides off of the Success Club tracker. Like all of it is going to be covered today. So if there are any questions, please write them down and we'll go over those at the end. But I'm pretty much just going to go through it. So yes, if you do have questions, write them down, please. And if you are going to take notes, please do, because there's going to be some really great social media tips that I'm going to give to you, some things that have been working for me in the last few weeks. And I really want you guys to take note because there are really fun things that are working that can help you expand your businesses. So the vital process, what is that? So back in the day when I first started, there actually were only 3. The get people results / recognition was something that wasn't there, but we knew that we were supposed to be doing it. So number 1 is be proof of the product's work. Connect, invite, follow up is number 2. Get people results is number 3, and personal development is number 4. Be proof the product's work. So pretty much back to our first slide, the vital process. Why do we have the vital process? The vital process, or the vital behaviors is what we used to call them, were designed to kind of lay out the foundation of what makes a good coach. So back in the day, they didn't have get people results. And we were seeing that a lot of people would start programs, but they wouldn't finish them. And so we wanted to get behind getting people results first, doing the fitness thing first, because that is what we're all about. So I think it was brilliant that they added that in. It gave us something for us to recognize people and shout them out on our social media. And I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I think it's brilliant that they really are shining a light on getting people results, because that's what we do. People look for that social proof when they are looking for things that may or may not work for them. So it's so important that we're able to highlight that. Okay, so back to the slides. Be proof the products work, like duh, right? This one, believe it or not, is difficult for some people. There are a lot of coaches out there who will start programs and not finish them or not do them 100%. So if you want to see success in your business, you have to commit to a program and give it your all. Because 1, you should be sharing it on social media. And 2, how are you going to sell a product that you have not used yourself? I personally have done so many of the programs, pretty much all the programs from start to finish, with the exception of Hammer and Chisel and 80-Day Obsession. 80-Day Obsession because I was pregnant, Hammer and Chisel because I got a kink in my neck and I had to stop doing it from all the overhead stuff. But I have pretty much done every single program start to finish. If you are going to play matchmaker for somebody, it's really important that you have that product knowledge, or at least have looked at the actual program and the program materials, so that you can help your clients pick the best program for their needs. If you do random programs, like say, oh, today I'm going to do legs from 21 Day Fix, but then I want to do lift 4 legs. If you do random programs, you're going to get random results. They were designed the way that they are designed and the way that they are scheduled for a reason. The research and development has been put in, the work has been put in. All we need to do is make sure we're knowledgeable in them and then plug people into those that serve their needs. So we have to continuously be in front of it. We have to be in front of at least 1 or 2 steps ahead of our potential clients and challengers. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't want a challenger doing better than me. I have to make sure that I am showing up every day. I am sharing what I'm eating. I am in my challenge group and I am giving them some motivation because I want everyone to know that these are going to work, because when you are showing up in that way, in that consistent manner to your actual challengers, their belief in the products grows and grows, and they are there with you for a long time. They become your lifers. And also, as you know, anytime somebody renews Beachbody On Demand, or anybody renews their Shakeology month after month, that's how your residual income goes. And for those of us who want that residual income and want those cycle bonuses, it's important that we are leading from the front and sharing our belief in the products with the people that are doing the programs with us. How has Shakeology or the Performance Line helped you? This is a tip that I wanted to give you guys to share on your social media. How has Shakeology helped you? Phoebe is a really great example of this, and she talks about it pretty often in her social media, where she'll share what ailments it's helped her. We have coaches who are taken off of certain medications because of Shakeology. For me personally, when I was pregnant with my first two, I had issues with constipation. I know TMI, but with JoJo, I had it every single day without fail, and I never had an issue. I know it's helped a lot of people with IBS, and a lot of stories have been told there. So talk about that. Like, how has it helped you? Has it eliminated your cravings? Has it given you energy? Has it eliminated that time or that stress in feeding yourself in the morning? Because I know for me personally, like, I probably would go without breakfast if it weren't for my shake. So talk about those things. And I'm not saying talk about it like take a picture of yourself with your shaker cup on your news feed. No, I'm not saying that at all. And in fact, we're going to talk about that when we get to social media tips. I'm talking about, you can talk about in your Insta stories. Maybe you can take a picture of your ingredients of your Shakeology and talk about that. But I would just talk about it in your stories. Be open to all products and try them. So I've done the Ultimate Reset. I've done the 3-day refresh a few times. I've had a lot of the Shakeology boosts. The beach bars are freaking awesome. Energize both flavors. I've had orange recover. I have a chocolate recover. So it's, the point is get behind all of the products because you're going to want to talk about them. What works for one person may not work for another person. Say somebody like had Shakeology years ago and they freaking hate it, right? Or they just have a strong, like they can't have it for whatever reason. Then you can talk about the performance line. Well, or you could talk about the performance stack, right? So make sure you're trying all of these things because it's important for you to have that product knowledge again, like you do with the programs. I have beach bars coming home to my, I have beach bars on home delivery. I have a tub of fruit punch Energize. I have Recover for my husband. I have a bag of Shakeology. And then my mother-in-law gets strawberry Shakeology sent to her. So we are well equipped with a bunch of products. My kids take beach bars to school. They freaking love them. And come home and they look for them. Like I have one a day. They're just freaking awesome. So be open to all the products and try them. And additionally, I get a 3-day refresh every 3 months. So I get one every quarter to kind of just reset and rebound my body because we all know we go off the rails sometimes. And show commitment to yourself so others can trust you. People are always going to lurk and watch you and watch your commitment level before they decide to join you. They want to make sure that you're working for yourself and that these products are working on you before they even consider joining you. It's that social proof, right? Like we want to make sure that we're showing up with our program and giving it our all and seeing results before anybody is going to trust us because they need to know, like, and trust you before they do business with you. Connect, invite, and follow up. So these are some things that I have been doing that have been really helping, one, my following, two, my engagement level on pretty much both social platforms, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, and three, it gets more people to look at your things. So one of the things that I do every day is I spend 15 minutes commenting and liking the photos that pop up in my feed. So I'm talking like I go on my Instagram, I hit refresh on my feed, and I see everybody that I'm currently following and their posts. And for 15 minutes, I will comment on every single picture and I will like every single picture for 15 minutes, no matter what the photo is. If there's nothing particular for me to say, I say something anyway, and I just go through them for 15 minutes and I do that. Why do I do that? One, it's because you realize how much you do mindlessly scroll on your Instagram and don't engage, right? Your thumb is just moving, like pretty much. When you are commenting and liking on the people's photos that actually follow you, it tells Instagram that it's kind of like a positive connection so that when you post things, it shows up on their feed as well. So the algorithm is somehow so that when you start to engage with people, your stuff pops up on theirs as well. So I will spend 15 minutes doing that. It makes people feel special. It makes them feel seen. And if you're following them anyway, we should be connecting with them. So it's just a really great way to make sure you're doing that by doing that for 15 minutes a day. Research hashtags that have 20,000 posts and under. So that means you're not hashtagging things that's like Fitspo or Fit Mom, or when you type in a hashtag and you see that it has like 100,000 people. It's okay sometimes to mix those in there, but to tell you the truth, when you start hashtagging things like that, you're just going to get a bunch of bots. You're going to get a bunch of spam. You're not going to get quality followers and people engaging. So you want to make sure you're going to search for hashtags that, one, relate to who you are. Sometimes you find hashtags that have nothing to do with fitness, more to do with you, maybe even your demographic, the state you're in, or the city that you're in, or the region you're in. Like for us, we're the San Francisco Bay Area, or we are the East Bay, like in the Bay Area region. So I would put that in there. You could hashtag your city. You could hashtag various activities, things like that. So it's important that you're also using hashtags, and you can also geotag, so you can location tag. Also, keep in mind, if you have a private account, no one's going to be able to find you if you hashtag. So it doesn't even matter. You're not going to come up in there. So it's important that you have a public account. Send a message to all followers. Oh, and to go back to hashtags, in my phone, in my notepad, I have an iPhone. I have a whole sheet of hashtags so that when I post on Instagram, I'm able just to go to that notepad, take the little chunk of hashtags that I want to put, and then I put them in a comment under the actual caption and not within the caption. For me personally, it just looks messy. I don't have any issues with visibility, I don't think. So I like to put them in a comment under. Another thing I do is I send a message to all followers and people who watch my Insta stories. So I'll usually do one or the other for the day. So if I'm doing 30 invites a day, I'll usually send one to my followers. And then if I'm doing 30 invites, like I'll go one day all IG stories, one day all followers. And it's been pretty cool for like my clarity. And I'm able to get about 30 invites out, I would say, in about 10 minutes. And it's just a matter of doing them. So my message that I send is usually like, hey, blank, your name. Hey, Megan, thank you so much for, it says, thank you. Hey, Megan, I hope this isn't weird. I'm making a point to message all of my followers in an attempt to connect. I realize that I haven't gotten to know a lot of my followers, and I want to change that this year. As you may or may not know, I run an online space for women to get healthy on their own terms. And if this is something that you're interested in, then awesome. But if not, that's okay too. But I hope and I pray that in the event that you ever were looking for or interested in at-home fitness, you would think of me. And that's exactly how I would read it in person. That's exactly how I send it. I put emojis in there. The message that I send to the people that watch my Insta stories is very similar. And I just say like, thank you for watching, and the same thing. And I've gotten really, really great results from this. So I send a message to all followers, and that's every day. I'll do 30 followers one day, and that counts as my 30 invites. I'll do 30 people watching my Insta stories. That counts as my invites. If I open up a message thread and I do see that they have seen the message but have not responded, I will tailor it. I would change the message. I'm not going to do that copy paste message there. I would say, hey girl, I saw that you saw this. I don't want to be a pest. I'm so sorry if I am. But I just wanted to connect with you. How are you doing? Or just connect with them on a different way and try to open up that conversation. And that would count as another connect or initiation of a conversation. Yeah, and most of the time people will be like, no, it's not weird at all. I'm sorry, I saw that, and yada, yada, yada. Or to tell you the truth, I'm just like happy to support you and watch you type of thing. you have to really detach yourself from the outcome and detach yourself of the what ifs, because when you start thinking about these types of conversations and how they could be going, like, why didn't she respond? Did she see it? If I cared about all the 30 people that I sent messages to a day, what is that, 30 times 5, that's 150. If I cared about all those 150 women, you guys, I probably wouldn't be doing this anymore. But when I get those people that do respond who are like, oh my God, Camilla, thank you so much for messaging me. I've been following you for so long. Or, oh my gosh, that is so cool that you're wanting to connect with people. I'm happy to connect with you too. Those are the people that make it all worth it. And those are the people that I start to talk to as if we've been friends for like 20 years. That is how I treat all of the people that I talk to. I will send a voice memo so they can hear my voice and say, girl, I'm so excited that you vibe with me. Shoot me your email address whenever you can. I'm going to send you a long, lengthy email with all the information you could need. And then I'm going to follow up with you and make sure that it's all clear and you can make a final decision. That is what I said. And people are like, oh my gosh, some people message back with a voice memo. Some people text back because they're still a little shy, but they know who I am and they know that I'm excited about what I do and that I have the potential to help them. And that's exactly how I want to leave them. And then another thing that I do, so DMs are fun, but voice memos are golden. So if you have the opportunity to send a voice memo, send a voice memo, please. Sometimes my demon baby is screaming in the back, so I'm not able to send as many voice memos as I like. So if you've been boxing with me, you know Jojo's like back there screaming. So I have to text sometimes, but voice memos are clutch because you can get them a bunch of information super duper fast, and they get to hear your passion in your voice, and gives them a little taste of what they can get with you as your coach. One sec. Okay. Go to Facebook and friend request people who have 10 or more mutual friends. You guys, I started doing this I think 3 weeks ago. I've been sharing this with you guys. And I have a goal of hitting 5,000 friends by my birthday, which is June 1st. And I started this with 2165, so 2,165 friends. And I'm about to be at 3,000 because of this action that I did every single day. I go to my Facebook and I go on the computer. It doesn't really work well on your phone because you can't do it quick. And I go to the little icon where your friend requests would be. And then I click on it. And then I look at the people you may know. And then I go to see all. So it opens up a whole window with a long list of people with whom you have mutual friends. And I go in and I look at our mutual friends. And if we have 10 mutual friends or more, I'm going to friend request you. And I just go down the line. I make sure they're not Beachbody Coach people. And frankly, I don't have a lot of Beachbody Coach friends on my Facebook, with the exception of like my own team and like those closest to me from Tread Nation. So I don't see it. And even if I did have Beachbody coaches, I would unfollow them so I don't see them in my feed, because you got to stay in your lane. But anyway, I open them up and I just request. I don't count or anything because at this point, I want to get to 5,000 and this is the way to do it. So I'm just friend requesting. Again, just like that message to your followers and the people who watch your Insta stories, this is going to feel scary. You're going to be tempted to be like, let me look at my pending requests and see how many I have. Don't do it. Like, who cares? Because like the message, the people who reciprocate are the ones that matter. The ones who reciprocate the friendship and the relationship building are the ones that matter. I have had a couple of people who are like, I'm sorry, I'm only friends with people I personally know, and they'll decline. And I'm like, fine, that's totally fine. It's whatever. But I also have had at least 3 women. One signed up for Beachbody On Demand. One purchased the Ultimate Portion Fix. And then I have another one signing up in the beginning of June because she couldn't do it at this moment, but she knows she's going to do it at the beginning of June. And these all came from Facebook. They're all friends of friends. I was a senior to like one of my cousin's freshmen, and like I knew all of his friends, and then they knew me. So it's like just so many different connections from places. So it's really important that, yes, Instagram is awesome, and Instagram we're able to put really great content up, but don't forget about Facebook, because Facebook is still wildly popular, and there's so many people to help and serve there who aren't necessarily on Instagram. So we have to be able to, and I'll admit, I was kind of like really huge on Instagram and what's going on over there. How can I get my pictures prettier? Like, let me get my presets. And I was like spending all my time here. I was forgetting about all the connections that I could be making on Facebook. So it's so important that there's just as important there. You can be really successful there. And at the same time, I mean, they both have live features, but like more people watch, I believe, Facebook Live than Instagram Live. So, oops. So make sure you are going to Facebook as well and requesting people. But on top of that, I know to kind of piggyback off of that, because so many of us are Instagram heavy, we kind of neglect Facebook. It's so important now for me that I am requesting such a high volume of people when they do go to my page to see who I am, like who is this chick that just requested me and I accepted. I better have some good content there that wants them, that encourages them to engage with me. And so I'm seeing a lot more likes on my photos and on my captions and just engagement in general, because I'm having new eyeballs on my stuff and they're engaging with me and they're liking it. So it's just been a really, really cool thing to see. And it's only a matter of time that we have some new friends that didn't necessarily come from Instagram. Some social media tips real quick. I'm just going to run through these. What time is it? Where are we at? 35. Take pictures in front of a window, please. Like, dark photos, they're hard. They're hard. You want your photos to be light, bright, and eye-catching. You want them to be scroll stopping. So make sure you're well lit in your area, you're clear. So the best thing to do, like if you're in front of a window, will get you the best lighting. Switch up your poses. There was a time back in the day when you would look at somebody's Instagram account, or you would know that they were a freaking Beachbody coach by what? Like, or with a shaker cup. Stop. We need to switch it up. We need to switch it up. Take inspiration on poses and contents from other accounts and collect them on Instagram. What do I mean by that? If you open up a picture, everybody, let's open up your Instagram. If you have your phone, please open up your Instagram. I'm going to instruct you on how to create little secret albums within your Instagram so you can draw from inspiration. Right? So within your Instagram, you are able to, if they have a public account, it's kind of like flagging a post, but saving it to an album that you can see. I have 2 albums within my Instagram right now that nobody could see. It's just me compiling other people's posts for inspiration. I have one titled content and one titled poses. So I will go through Fitspos, like if I need inspiration on captions, or if I need inspirations on new poses, I will look through these, or I will add them to them. If I'm reading a post and I'm like, damn, that was a good caption, I could probably work around that, make it my own, or I have a similar story that's personal to me, I will save it. So if you go to a photo on your Instagram, any photo, right? And you click, there's like a little ribbon on the right side under the picture. It's like a little flag, and then it has like 2 little points at the bottom, and you click it. You can save it to what they call a collection. You can save it to a collection within your Instagram, and I put it in either content or I put it in poses. So this is a really great way for you to draw inspiration from people who inspire you. And no, I am not talking about duplication. No, I am not talking about plagiarism and just taking their words, but you can draw inspiration from their talking point. You can draw inspiration from the objection that they're discussing. You can draw inspiration from a limiting belief that they were feeling, like because you felt it, and draw from you, and then use your own experiences and use their posts to guide you in your writing. I do this all the time, guys. Like, I don't come up with all that stuff. Yeah, I think about it sometimes, and I think about what I want to talk about, but sometimes life gets in the way and my mind is on the baby, but I know I need to get something up, and I know I wanted to talk about this, but like I can't draw any inspiration because I'm kind of stressed out right now. I use other people's posts to motivate me and inspire me to write my own words and kind of jog my memory. Maybe I have some writer's block, but I use that, and I use inspiration on how to pose in your pictures, because we can only see so many full body progress photos, right? Or we could see so many like workout pictures with a dumbbell in your hand. It's so important that we're able to change it up so that people keep wanting to come to our page and it doesn't get boring to them. Invest in a ring light. This is the diamond gift. If you already have one and you're going to hit diamond, then we'll talk about something else. But if you hit your diamond rank within your Team Beachbody business, I will purchase you a ring light and have it sent to your home. I have a ring light on right now over here. My room would be super duper dark and nobody wants that. So I have had a ring light. I think this one's from 2014. I want to say, and I've only changed the bulb once. It's like everything to me. Yeah, it's awesome. It has a carrying case, it has a dimmer, and it is just the best investment, because when our own house lights tend to cast really yellow, so it's important that you have like a bright light to really make your colors pop in your photos. So I'll use these for videos. In the morning, I work out super early in the morning, so I'll have that on as I work out if I don't have enough light coming in there, but it's just awesome. Record your workouts and then slice up the video. I do this, like, so I'll record maybe the whole workout or 15 minutes of a good block of the workout, and then I will take the video within my iPhone, and then I will slice it up into little segments, and then I'll just save them. So I hit edit in my iPhone, I move the little yellow cut, I think it like cuts the actual clip, and then I'll save it as a new video. So I'm going to turn one long video into multiple clips of the ones where I'm going for it in the movement and I want to share that. So that's how I record my videos. Also, if you're going to put them up in your Insta stories, which I highly recommend you do, I do that every day because it gives me just like mindless content that I know is going to go on, and it's mindless to me. And in the beginning, I thought it was like super annoying, like I'm going to annoy people, but really people are looking for you to be consistent. They're drawing inspiration from you just from watching you. So it's important that you are sharing those bits and pieces. If you're going to be posting them in your Insta stories, record your video vertically versus the phone horizontally, because it's going to fit really nicely on your screen. Don't post too many Insta stories of you just talking. I see people are so guilty of this sometimes. They think they're like, oh, I don't have anything up today, so let me just talk for 5 minutes in my Insta stories. Nobody wants to see that, guys. I like to keep my talking bits like maybe 2 to 3, at most 4 at a time, because people don't have that attention span. And I'm going to tell you now, a lot of the times people are watching your Insta stories with no sound on. So give them something visually appealing to watch. And if you are going to talk, put some cliff notes in there with text, like a little sample of what you're talking about, a sentence that relates to what you're talking about, a phrase, a GIF, like anything that makes it easier on the eyes and more engaging to watch. Take lots of progress photos. A lot of the most successful coaches do like a morning ab check every morning. I know Danielle Natoni does that, and she just gets up real quick so that people know what to expect of you. I used to be really big on sharing my morning process. So I would always share a picture of like my devotional book with my energized cup there. I'll try to do different variations of that. I've done my affirmation cards, but take lots of progress photos. Like if you are doing the 21-day fix, you should have a picture of you on day 0 and at one after day 7. Like take lots of those, and also take lots of progress photos so that you can refer back to them as you progress even further. Share your team's successes. This one's huge, guys. Social proof is everything. People want to see social proof before they join you. They want to know that it's working. They want to know that it has the potential to work for them. So it's so important that you share social proof. I started doing this late in the game. So don't make the freaking mistake that I made. Share your team's posts. Like if your teammate has a public page, just press the little airplane button on top of their post and share it to your story with a little text as to why this is inspiring to you and why you think your teammate is so badass. If you don't have any clients yet, that is the perfect way to share social proof. Look at my team member, Melissa, and she's killing it. She's lost 25 pounds. Look at my teammate, Camilla. Like she is postpartum and has been kicking butt. Yes, you guys can do that, and you have our permission to share it. Of course, when it comes to your challengers, you always want to ask their permission before posting any of their progress photos, because they don't have that mind of a coach, and maybe they're a little bit more shy or timid. But those ones who do want you to share, like they would probably make some good coaches. So make sure you're talking to them about that too. And share more than just Beachbody, guys. Like share your life, share your humor, share something controversial. Well, not like political or anything like that, but some of the greatest engagement that I got was like a couple of months ago or a month ago, where I shared the fact that I used a menstrual cup, and I got so many DMs and questions on what it is, which ones I use, how it's helped me, or people who are like, I've been using one for years, or I'm afraid to use it. Like I just connected with women in such a different way that would have had nothing to do with fitness or Beachbody or nutrition or anything. And today I have a bunch of DMs because I asked C-section mamas if they have had issues with their scars after giving birth to their babies. And so that's another really great way that I connected that's specific to me and makes me different from other Beachbody coaches, is that I'm open enough to talk about things like that that may be taboo and things like that. So you guys, like literally last night, I wanted to have a conversation about these C-section scars and share these big ass granny panties that I just got from Amazon. And I was like, okay, that's DTM, but I like really am I'm probably going to share them because they're freaking hilarious. They're like this big and like hella high waisted, like go up to my boobs. It's ridiculous, but it's fine. But people want to see that. People want to know who you are. People want to know your story, and you have to be able to share more than just Beachbody. Get people results. Duh. Like, right? We have to be able to get people results. And this doesn't mean we have to be in stellar shape ourselves. We have to be perfectionists. I pride myself on being a coach, an imperfect coach that is figuring shit out alongside my customers, but not giving up, and I will not give up on them. Like I never model perfection. I just model hard work and dedication and being human. And I think that that's what has made me attract so many of the women and so many of the mothers that I do, is because I'm not perfect, but I'm for damn sure going to keep going. And I think that that really stands true in the people that I've been able to serve this year, the quality of the women that I'm bringing in and at the moment. So yeah, don't just drop your clients in a challenge group and go. Like I see it sometimes. People aren't getting checked in with. I like to send check-ins to my people in the My Challenge Tracker app. It's never been more easy to just go to everybody in the challenge group, click on the people that you've invited and send them a quick message and see how they're doing. Check in with them. It gives them that personal touch, and it shows that you care, and it wasn't or ever was just about getting them into that sale. Something that I like to do that kind of sets me up to be kind of that person of influence is I share my personal development takeaways. I am by no means a professional in anything, but I would like to say that I have been doing personal development for many, many, many years, and I've done it very, very, very consistently, and I've learned a lot of different ways that have helped me coach myself and do some self-seeking, self-coaching in certain instances, a lot of thought work, and I like to share that with other people. I like to also share my favorite personal development or something that would serve them, right? So if I have somebody who is struggling with emotional eating, I'll say, girl, Brooke Castillo, episode, yada, yada, yada. She tackles emotional eating here. Or somebody who is needing help on being vulnerable, or somebody who needs to open up. Awesome. Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. Like, amazing for you. Somebody who is having issues and on just getting started and being motivated. 5-second rule. Such an easy listen. Amazing. Or the compound effect or the slight edge. But you catch my drift. Like, the more you pour into yourself, the more you're going to be able to pour into others and help them. Because I'll get to it in the next slide. Personal development is personal. You can't just tell them what you're reading and be like, you need to read this, you need this, because maybe they don't need it at that moment. So it's important that you listen to their struggles and find ways to solve them. And this is a very, very slippery slope, because I have been in moments where I would wear people's emotions and I want to help fix them so bad, but they didn't want that help necessarily. They kind of just wanted a vent, and you're kind of that person for them a lot of the times, because you become very personal with your clients. They start to tell you their life stories and their life struggles, and because it is such an intimate relationship to help but somebody through fitness, you're going to learn a lot about these things, and they're going to sometimes share their deepest, darkest secrets, and sometimes it's a lot to wear, but it's a gift. And it's seriously one of the most rewarding things that I've been able to do is to point them in the direction of a resource that can potentially help them and change their lives. Maybe your delivery on it won't be as good as the professional that wrote the book, that wrote the audiobook that they can actually listen to, who had the podcast in which they can really absorb it and get the science behind it and get the more studying behind it versus you delivering it to them. So yes, deliver it to them, but also point them to that resource. Be sensitive to their lives, but also push them. This is another one, guys, because you're going to get a lot of clients. I get a lot of clients who are so gung-ho about their fitness, so gung-ho about the challenge group, and then they're like so good in the first 2 weeks, and then like week 3, week 4, week 5, they fall off, and then they come back week 6, and you're like asking them, dude, what's going on? What's going on in your life? And they're like, the kids got sick, and it was just hard for me to rebound. And, and then my car went into the shop, and then my microwave broke. And then, my dog got out of the backyard. And then you're just like throwing shit at you. And you're just kind of like, okay, I hear you. Life is going to happen. I understand. I sympathize. But also, what are you going to do to get back on the saddle? Because you invested in this. You were super excited about it. You wanted to feel X, Y, and Z. You wanted to lose X amount of pounds. You wanted to feel great again. You wanted to fit into your size whatever jeans. But what happened to that? How are we going to get back to that? So you have to be very, very confident in your ability to coach them and kind of get them back on track. But also be sensitive to what they're going on. Sometimes people are really going through things, and sometimes people are not necessarily going through things, but they perceive it to be very big. So we have to be able to kind of look at the bigger picture, remind them of their why, and then steer them back in the right direction. Personal development. This is going to be the last one. Personal development. I, for one, think that this is absolutely the most critical piece. I don't know why I put it last. I should put this first. Personal development, by far, is what has molded me into the leader that I am today. I remember in my first corporate job, I think I was like 24. One of my coworkers was reading a personal development book, and I was like, what is that? That's weird. I thought it was just self-help. I didn't believe in it. I didn't think that I needed to learn anything more. And by the time I read The Slight Edge, which was my first personal development book when I first started coaching, and then The Compound Effect, and then Eat That Frog, I was like, whoa, it makes you just want to do more. It makes you like, yeah, I want to do more, and this is what's going to happen. And then small changes happened in my life, and I just started being more of a go-getter and not settling for anything more than I knew that I deserved. And it trains my mind to know what was possible. So it's super duper important that you also are doing personal development that is personal to what you're going on in your life. Because I'll go gung-ho and I'll have like 6 credits on Audible, and then I'll ask people, what are you reading? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Then I'll download them, and then I start to listen to them, and I'm like, that's not what I need right now. Then I'll go to another and like, no, that's not what I need right now either. So it really depends on what you need to hear at that moment. I'm usually listening to personal development while I'm doing mindless work. I'll listen to podcasts while I work out. I stopped listening to music and I started listening to podcasts, and that's definitely been helping me just set my intentions and start thinking in a goal-oriented way very, very early in the morning as I do my workout. I will also listen to a podcast as I'm getting ready. If JoJo's allowing me, I have an Echo, Amazon Echo in my room, and I just queue up my audibles there as well, or I'll play my podcast on my Spotify playlist. If you need recommendations on podcasts and books, ask your upline, or you can ask me, and I'm happy to give you some suggestions on depending on what your needs are. And it goes beyond your business, guys. Like, if it weren't for personal development, I highly doubt I'd be the wife, the mother, anything that I am today. Like, I would probably still be miserable. I'd probably still be gossiping with other people about other people because it made me feel good in some weird way. I would probably not get as much done. I'd probably be a much messier person because it's definitely made me more assertive towards the housework in my house, because I'm just like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let me do this. So it definitely goes beyond just what you can do within your business. Personal development that is Beachbody oriented. National Wake Up Calls every Monday. They're on the TB411 page. Shred Nation team calls on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Beachbody Champions page is a good place to watch because they do trainings pretty much like every day. It gets a little overwhelming, so get in there kind of as you find time. And then BF team calls, Brazen Fitness team calls, our development for our leaders. These calls will be happening once a month. We're going to be doing a coach sneak peek webinar next Monday. And we also have our team coffee chats on Saturday. So there are amazing ways to stay connected. We do amazing team trainings just like this. We share best tips and practices. But it's just a really great way for us to connect as well, because this quality time and this connectivity is what keeps us going. We don't get to go into an office and clock in and out and say hi to our coworkers. So this is a really great way for us to connect and collaborate. All right, cool. So that is all I had. Do any of you guys have any questions? No? Cool. Sweet. Well, thank you guys so much for your time and being here tonight. I'm super excited to see you guys just move your businesses forward. I know every single one of you guys on this call right now have goals, diamond goals, and then emerald goals. So let's go ahead and take a quick picture, and then I'm going to let you guys go. I hear my baby crying. Let me